Hello everyone, welcome to the first podcast of this channel. To be honest, this is a long overdue recording that I should have done back in March 2024. So, back in March, I went to South by Southwest in Austin and also a symposium on music and AI in Hong Kong University. So, as you might have guessed, those two places are filled with experts and cutting-edge ideas on AI and creativity, both in the industry and also in academia. And this is exactly what this video is going to be about. I'm going to share and synthesize what I've learned and also what questions and thoughts have emerged after hearing so many expert inputs. My initial goal to go to these two events is to learn what's the latest ideas on AI and creativity, especially the first ideas that is outside of the big tech self-serving narratives, and also the echo chamber on social media and LinkedIn, so that I can balance out my media biases. So, the big tech narrative often claims that Gen AI applications are democratizing the power of imagination and creativity for everyone. And there's also that computer science narrative where creativity becomes a mathematical or engineering problem to be solved. But this two narrative is so limiting and could be biasing us into understanding what are the possible nuances the theme could entail. And what about the voice from the creative professionals and also the academics? In South by, the voices are mostly from the industry, practical, filled with heuristics, and concerned about mostly 1 to 3 years ahead from the industry practitioners, although it's not often what the conference proclaims. And as for the symposium, the ideas are often academic, theoretical, exploratory, and poke questions for the 5 to 10 years ahead, if not more. Both touch upon AI-assisted storytelling, design, music making, and more. You can find the exact talks and speakers in the descriptions. You may ask, what's the point of this video? Given that social media and the press have been hyping up so much AI news nowadays, there's almost an infinite stream of spammy content on this topic. Well, first, I hope I can contribute to this conversation to bridge the knowledge gap and also the narrative gap between academia, industry, and the community. If we just let the problematic mainstream narrative dictates how we understand ourselves and our relationship with AI and how those tools should be used and should be designed, we could be heading to a road to our demise. Also, as we shape tools, our tools shape us back. And together, this loop shapes the world, and it's definitely not an easily dismissible topic. Companies will grow and add more AI anyway, in good ways and in bad ways. So it's really important to be critical and surface issues, calibrate understanding, expose the limitations, and keep talking. And so it's very important to have more diversity of thoughts and ideas in that conversation. Before we dig into the arguments and ideas, let's talk about the vibe. Both events have a general sentiment of skepticism, with a little bit optimism and experimentalism. It seems that as an industry and as a community, we're still on the fence. We're still not unitarily agreed if we should protest, compete, or collaborate with an AI, or with AI systems in creativity. But the majority of the South by vibe is to collaborate. The idea that the tech is there, so we have to embrace it anyway, with a little bit of FOMO mentality. The South by speakers are generally cheerleading the crowd, spreading cautious positivity. I guess this makes sense because the practitioners have all the reasons to feel anxious and threatened with big tech layoff, with industry consolidation, with all that strikes and protests on Gen AI and copyright issues. However, the visitors of South by tends to be more forward-thinking, quote-unquote, and also to be the early adopters. They have strong conviction, if not blind faith, in the mystical human touch that AI could never replace, but they couldn't explain it in depth. But I wonder, How can you defend human creativity if you don't know what makes the human element? I think that there is a sign of academia and industry knowledge gap on that vague, mysterious human element. And I hope this podcast could contribute ideas from both sides to bridge the divide.